Hey there YouTube, Elite Legionario here, bringing you a 1 versus 1 for a Roman Total War, grassy flatlands. I am in command of Germania, and my opponent, Bird of Prey, is using a mostly Pre Marian Scipii army to my surprise. And my army's a rush army. I have no missile units, except like this skirmisher warband, which is just a meat shield, and they're not valuable missile units really. So I'm rushing. I have 4 units of gold spear warband, 2 units of gold Gothic cavalry, and 4 units of gold attack chosen axemen. I was actually expecting urbans. It's just because you run into it so much online that you just kind of expect it. So he rushes with one of his Roman cav, which are gold. He's got 2 of those gold. He's 3 gold Astarte, 2 gold Principe. I think it's 2 gold auxilia, which is an interesting choice, and 1 gold urban cohort. And I think there's about 4 archers. Not sure what upgrades they were packing though, 1 or 2. So I'm going to rush him here. My meat shield, as you can see, stops him throwing his peeler for the most part. And I'm just going to go straight in here and come thumping in with my chosen axeman's devastating charge. But I think he gets some peeler in. But when he tries to come in from this side, I'm going to come in from this side. And I'm going to come around, hit the flanks of these Astarte and get into the backs of these auxilia. That way it allows me to come in for hammer and anvil strikes unopposed by his auxiliary units. And I hit some of his Roman cav here in the flank and I rout it. Over this side, I'm going to pin from this area. I think the mistake he made is he didn't put his urbans in the front line. If he put his urbans in the front line, all the other units would have been boosted in morale by the fact they were in the front line. So now I'm just going to keep coming in for strikes and try and run through the gaps and ignore his auxilia, although I do get hit there. And I do rout some over here, and I rout this unit here as well. So my axemen were kind of like the shock value. It's a very good unit for killing urbans as long as you can stop the peeler from hitting them. So a peeler shield is very, very useful in that situation. To be honest, in my opinion, a peeler shield should be used as much as possible against Rome. He did rout one of my Gothic cav. I believe that's because they scraped up against these urbans and they might have got peppered by some of their peeler. He's going to get some peeler into these chosen axemen, and that's going to be pretty devastating. But I'm going to send my guys in for a charge. And Trump's going to try and swamp this urban unit. I'm going to attack it from everywhere, pull my cav out and use repeated charges on it. And as you can see, it's getting pretty bashed down. It's an urban though, it's going to hold for a very long time. But here comes a devastating charge from the flank, and this should rout the urban unit, I suspect. Yep. So that's how you want to get rid of urbans, is Germania. The big armor piercing charging units like the chosen axemen. Berserkers are very good as well, but berserkers are kind of a cheap, overpowered unit in my opinion, not really a unit I like to use that often. Sometimes I use it when I'm up against an urban spam just to help me beat the Praetorian cavalry, and I don't upgrade them usually. So here's the Roman Scipii general holding into the last here. He's going to get pretty swamped in there. So aside from my chosen axemen and Gothic cav, the fight was pretty even in terms of units. Again though, I'm so used to fighting urbans that you just automatically bring this sort of the counter-urban units when you play against Rome. So that's basically why I had the army I had. And I was really expecting my opponent to have more urbans of some, the Praetorian cav and all that. So what I often like to do with Germania is to pin with the spear warband. They're crap and they're not going to last, but the point is they stall while your axemen do a whole lot of damage somewhere else, and they come in the flank, and it's just that's the scare effect that Germania has is pretty awesome. So it's definitely my favourite barbarian faction. So I'm just going to keep charging here and keep pushing my opponent, using my cavalry to run down some of his archer units. You don't want to let any archers just shoot you up as Germania. You don't have a lot of armour on your units, so they get knocked around by arrows very easily. So with Germania you just want to keep pushing it and pushing your assault. In most cases, obviously you're not going to push it against like a phalanx unit or something. You need to outposition a phalanx unit. But with Germania, you just want to really keep getting. It's an aggressive attacking faction, really, in my opinion. It is anyway, and it plays quite well into my style of play. So my opponent, I didn't give him any time to use his archers, and I was just sort of right in there attacking from multiple angles. The idea was to pin with the spear warband and hit the sides with the chosen axemen. So it's a heroic victory too, so it was pretty sweet there. So I had 1,077 men. He had 899. I had 899 kills and 661 left. He had 1,075 men, 489 kills and 166 men left. So my Gothic cavalry, lots of kills because they were also just charging in, picking out whatever they could and then coming back out and just being kind of like dividing his attention. Spear Warband, pretty impressed with them really. But then again, Hastati, Hastati is still better than Spear Warband and all that. Hastati, Principe. The Skirmish Warband did a really good job with that rush there. They stopped them throwing his peeler, and that always works well. But if you look at the Chosen Axemen, tons of kills. Probably the one unit that really gave me the major edge here was the Chosen Axemen, because I was expecting more Urbans, because I'm not trying to be mean here, but everyone who uses Rome just uses Urbans and Praetorians. There are people out there who don't, but about 70% of the people you run into will use Urbans and Praetorians, so your builds just counter that. Well, I do anyway, because I'm so used to fighting them. So anyway, good game to Bird of Prey, and thank you for actually trying like a mostly Pre Marian build. I love Pre Marian games, and it's really good to see players try it and use it. It is quite tough to win with them, but very rewarding when you do. And it's always good to see people who use Rome and don't use the same old armies every time, which it's a rare sight indeed. So good on you, Bird of Prey, and thank you guys for watching. Hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you soon next time.